Well, as the president pursues his agenda, a coalition of Democratic states are coming together to fight him on it. Attorney generals from more than 20 states now suing the administration, filing lawsuits against the funding freeze, research funding cuts, DOGE, and the order to end birthright citizenship. At the forefront of the battle, Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown, who says his office cannot stand idly by as he claims unconstitutional actions threaten the security, safety, and civil rights of residents in his state. Here now is Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Holly, it's great to be on. Thanks for covering this important story. Well,
it's great to have you. I'm looking forward to our conversation. You know, you've said yourself, these are tough cases. At the heart of them is that the Trump administration isn't adhering to the Constitution. Now, I know you've faced some pushback in the courtroom thus far. What do you believe are your strongest legal arguments to back up those claims?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of cases. So you've got a lot of, what we consider violations of the Constitution, whether it's the Appointments Clause, and that's a lawsuit we brought against Elon Musk, or the administration for designating Elon Musk as an employee with broad, vast authority. We saw it just this weekend when he sent out an email to federal employees asking them to send emails describing the 5 successes of the past week and create a lot of chaos and confusion within the federal government. So that's an Appointments Clause Constitution, an Appointment Clause violation. The Constitution requires the Senate to confirm all federal officials, and that's what Elon Musk is acting like, a very senior federal official. So that's that. You've got the Appropriations Clause, right? The Trump administration was withholding federal funds to state agencies in violation of the Appropriations Clause of the Constitution. That's the power of Congress, not the president. So there are a lot of different arguments, and we've enjoyed some successes in the courts to date, but there's a long way to go.
What do you count as the biggest hardships for residents of Maryland as a result of the president's actions? I know that their concerns are yours.
When you look at the freeze of federal funding, right, veterans benefits are at stake. Child care assistance is at stake. The freeze on federal dollars to research institutions, which was about $50 million in Maryland. Maryland, we consider ourselves a leader in global research to find the cure to cancer and other diseases. So when you jeopardize those, when you freeze that funding, it really hits Marylanders at home, and it also hits Maryland as a leader in so many areas.
You face criticism from some who say, you're spending a lot of time, taxpayer-provided resources to sue the president and the federal government, that this effort could have a minimal impact. What do you say to those critics, and why do you believe this mission is so important?
Like that's an exaggeration of the investments that we're making in terms of people and money. But when you want to measure that investment against what the risk, consider that Elon Musk has basically commandeered, or at least he attempted to, the central payment system of the U.S. Treasury. $11 billion flows to the state of Maryland every year through that system. Marylanders themselves receive about $50 billion from that central payment system, and not just the money, but a lot of their personal information is in that system. So this is a small investment by Maryland, by other states, to protect the financial interests of Marylanders and our residents, the constitutional and civil rights interests of our residents. So those who say that we're spending too much money are not recognizing that the cost of inaction is even greater.
And you've said that American democracy is strong and it's being tested right now. What do you believe justice looks like in these cases?
Justice would be issuing preliminary injunctions. Justice would look like these cases going all the way through, litigated to judgment. And then justice, of course, includes the president and the administration from abiding by whatever orders are issued by the courts. And that holds true for attorneys general and other parties. We live in a system where courts interpret the law, and parties before the courts need to respect what those decisions are. Sometimes we like them, sometimes we don't. But I believe that a constitutional crisis would be faced if and when the president were to essentially reject the rulings of the court.
All right, Anthony Brown, we certainly appreciate you coming on and stating your case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.